Hello and welcome to the KEPRS training videos. Today's video is going to focus on courses, and it is sponsored by the Office of Education Licensure and Effectiveness, which is an office of the Kentucky Department of Education and authorized through the Education Professional Standards Board. The system we are reviewing is the Kentucky Educator Program Review System, and there are some contacts with emails and phone numbers listed here. And you can pause this video at any time to capture some of that information. Again, today's video is going to focus on courses. There's a variety of videos that we are creating, and they will all be available through a channel that you can get to, so you can go through these. The objective here is to keep them light and keep them around 10 to 15 minutes long and spread them out into these different modules or components so that you can take them one at a time. The reason we do all this is for this program review system for EdPrep. And so there's a variety of information that does need to be collected about the institution, about the education programs, about the courses and the curriculum that you are providing to your candidates. Also information about the clinical educators or the faculty, information about your assessments, and then the variety of standards that need to be aligned and linked to your courses and assessments. This is all gathered together to perform the program reviews, and in the process of that program review, some of this information we hope can be shared or used also as a part of your accreditation process. Because this particular video is going to focus on the courses, I got a couple of concepts I want to cover with you briefly. The programs or program category that you may be providing for your candidates has a variety of attributes associated with it. These may be classifications. So for example, you may have an initial program or an advanced program. We also have a category or classification called other school professionals. There are a variety of different routes that this program may be offered through. There's a traditional route and option 6. Those are the common ones. You may be offering a variety of degree or award levels. And then of course the end result should be a credential or certification for that student and candidate. So because there are so many different offerings or attributes in each one of these programs, we had to develop a coding system. So each one of these codes that you work with is a specific instance or an example of a particular set of attributes for that program. What we're going to be doing in this courses module, along with capturing the basic information about a course and its description, we need to link these courses to those programs and program codes. And this is kind of like an electronic curriculum guide, and it shows a different set of courses may be needed like for an initial or an advanced program. The third thing that we'll do, in addition to defining the course, linking the course, is we need to align these courses to a set of standards, and each set is going to be different based upon the program itself. So for elementary or chemistry or math or music, there are a different set of standards required that need to be aligned. So those are some of the key concepts as a part of going through the courses module. So once you have signed in to the EPSB website and you've selected the KEPRS module, you'll have a landing page that kind of looks like this. And so we're going to scroll down and go to the courses module. So this is the basic screen for the courses module. There are several functions available to you, and we'll go through each one of these tabs. The first tab is just to add a new course, and that's all this screen does. You can key in a new course. The second tab allows you to view or edit the courses that you have in the system. The third tab, as I described in the charts, is the effort to link courses to programs. Then you align courses to standards. And then the final tab allows you to view and delete the course standards because there may have been a mistake or an overassignment or standards are changing, and it will walk through how that takes place on this last tab. So the first tab is simply to add a new course, and typically there's a prefix, and I'm going to key in, maybe I'm keying in a biology course. So I'm going to say this is biology 222. Maybe it's an intro course, intro to bio. And then I may have a syllabus that I'll need to attach. And I've just got a variety of different things here. It doesn't really matter. I'll grab a PDF. I will attach that as a syllabus. And this is optional. You can attach the syllabus at any time. I've got a description here. And you might be cut and pasting this from a course catalog if you have a PDF or a Word document or something you can cut and paste from on a website. We do capture the number of credit hours, and some institutions have minimum and maximum credit hours, so we've provided for both. So maybe this is a 3 credits. We also capture the number of if you provided in this class clinical experience field hours, which are your pre-student teaching. And so, for example, I'll put in here, there's 21 field hours. You might also be calculating the field days, and those are the student teaching field days. You would not see both field hours and field days in the same course, or I don't think you would. We capture whether or not this is a restricted course, whether or not you address a CAPE diversity, and whether or not you might be addressing CAPE technology. Now, these are optional fields. They're simply a flag to help you track for CAPE or accreditation purposes if you are trying to show where you are doing cross-cutting themes for diversity and technology. So again, these are optional. Use them as you see fit. I'll do a save course. I get a message up here, course inserted successfully. It then clears the screen and allows me to key in a new course. So let me go to View, Edit Courses, and you may have several hundred courses, and this particular view would take some time to come back and view. So we provided you the option to either view all courses, or you can go to a selected prefix. So let me take a look at Bio, and there should be a short list, and it's the course that I just created. Or let me choose another prefix. Let me go to Chemistry. We'll take a quick peek here. I think I've got a couple. There we go. And again, this is all, it says Alice Lloyd College, but this is test data. So we've kind of keyed in some data here that's just for testing purposes only. So when I'm in this view and edit mode, you can see this grid of information about the courses. And what we've tried to do is to activate in each one of these columns, you can sort, and there's not much to sort here because I've only got 2 courses. You can sort, you can filter, and I'll show you how you filter. If you click on that filter there and you say it starts with, let's say, CHM space 100, because I know that there's one there. Filter. There you go. You can sort by the course title. You could sort or filter. You can sort or filter by title. You can sort by the course syllabi, by the hours, field days, etc. Or you can go in and delete this course, or you can edit. So let's go in and take a look at the edit. And these are basically the same fields that we saw on the first panel, the first tab. I can't change the course. And that makes sense because I mean, you can either delete it or create a new course, but you can't modify it here. You could change the title. You could attach a new syllabi. You could change the description, change the hours, and whatever. You can change almost all the attributes here except for the actual course title. Then you say update course. Are you sure? Yes. Updated successfully, and you're done. So doing the edit is fairly straightforward, fairly easy, and again, with all of the different sorting and filtering capabilities on each one of these columns, you can manipulate this list because it will get long over time. There's another option to the far right here to export to Excel. And we try to provide this function on almost all the grid views that we have, so you can export this information to Excel. That way you can sort, filter in Excel as you like. Let's proceed now to the third tab, which is linking the course to the programs. And again, this is sort of like creating your electronic curriculum guide. And if I scroll down towards the bottom, you can see that there's already quite a bit of work that has been going on here. This particular view has, let's see here, 87 items of where the courses have been linked to the programs. So let's start off and say, well, I'm going to take, maybe I've got these two chemistry courses, Chemistry 100, Chemistry 123. And what I'd like to do is to include both of those courses in the link that I'm going to pull together. And they both are going to be linked to my chemistry. Maybe I've got middle school science as well. So I've got two courses, I've got two programs, and I'm not going to filter by the type or by the route, although you could do that if you wanted to. Now I come down to the program codes, and what I've got here is I've got a chemistry and middle school science code, and there again, that's the coding scheme, and it gives you the program, the route, the classification, and perhaps the degree level. So it gives you somewhat of an explanation as to what that code stands for. I've got a select all option, which I will pick here. And so now I've got the courses linked to my programs and the program codes. I say save course program, inserted successfully, and it is added to the grid down below. And again, this particular grid, I can sort, I can filter, I could group. So for example, let me show you the grouping function. If I took this program detail, if I click on it and hold my button down and I slide it up to this control bar, it then groups by the program detail. So what I've done here is I've grouped all of my Code 14 elementary programs into one list, and I can now see all of the courses that are linked to my elementary program. So as I scroll down, I can see all the courses linked to English, all the courses linked to middle school. So this is one of many reasons you may want to group, sort, filter that particular list of the courses that are linked to programs. Let's go to the fourth tab now. This is the align courses to the standards. And this is just an input panel. There won't be any lists or grid views down below. And it's important here that you need to pick the particular category or program. And the reason for that is that program determines which standards must be aligned. So let me pick one that I know I've got a course in, or I know I've got programs in. And let me try that again. There we go. So I've got the literacy standards, Kentucky Teacher Performance Standards, and something called NSTA, and those standards are specific to the biological science. So let me pick the NSTA standards, and perhaps I'm going to align to okay. Sorry about the multiple pauses. I got a phone call. Let's try this again. So we have to pick a category. In this case, I picked biological science, which then determines the standard groups that I can pick from. There's literacy, KTPS, and NSTA. Let me go with the NSTA set of standards. And for this example, let's say this course will be addressing components within standards 1 and 2. We then look at the components under standards 1 and 2, and let's just say, for example, we will be addressing all of the components in standards 1 and 2, and we will be using this Bio 222 course. I could pick others, but for an example, let's just pick the one course for now. And then when I'm done with that alignment, I say Save Course Standards, and it has been inserted. And again, this is just an input screen, so this is all that we will see here when we're aligning courses to the standards. If we want to view all of those standards, we go to the final tab, which is View or Delete Course Standards. And at the bottom of the panel here is this grid view, and it can be extensive. Currently, this particular test sample is 363 items, but this can go into the thousands. So you'll want to take advantage of these column abilities here to sort or filter or group. You can do this either by selecting these particular filter groups up here, or you can accomplish the same thing by using some of the filter and grouping functions in the grid view. For example, if I wanted to find just the ILA standards, I could filter, starts with, and select ILA, filter, and now I have only the ILA standards being viewed. So let me clear that. So I've got all of the standard groups in here again. Another option would be to drag and drop this column into the grouping category. It then restructures the view. So now I'm looking at ILA, and I can scroll down. These are the KTPS. So it breaks it or groups it into each of the standard groups. And of course, you can also export to Excel to look at those specifically in Excel, and you can use Excel any way you like. So let me drop the grouping. I then have a full grid. Now, if I wanted to remove some of these standards, I don't want to do a remove all, because it will do exactly that. It will remove everything that's in this grid view. But if I wanted to just remove, let's say, these components 1C, then I can filter my view and say it starts with 1C, filter. And now I've got seven of these standards that I'm saying, you know what, we don't really address this particular standard in any of these courses, so I'm going to delete all of them. Now you could delete one at a time, but if you had a large group, that could take a long time. So we added this remove all button. It does ask you, are you sure you want to delete all records? I'll say okay. And then those 7 records as a group have all been removed from the alignment. I hope that this has been helpful in understanding the courses module within KEPRS, and we invite you again to review all of the other KEPRS training modules. Thank you again for your time.